In a world with many similarities to our own, there lies two planets that are both experiencing societal turmoil. One of them, the planet Remus, there lies a town named Hazel that is on the outskirts of one of the busiest cities on the planet. While society is strained with cultural change, in this town, there are beings that no one has seen and struggle not to be found as time goes on. The following is the story of some of the people who end up finding them through no fault of their own. This is Hazeltown Story. Those folks, so if you can get some names, maybe we can get some eyes and ears on them.
All right. I'll let you know when I know.
All right.
If that Bobby leaves the car wash after Chumby gets out of the car.
All right. So, let's say that some time passes, like enough that, let's say, enough time that you have another downtime period. So, doing this again, Carnival, what do you want to do for your downtime?
Let's start an investigation into recent, Cassiopeia activities in the area.
Okay. Local hubbub about what the groups have been doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Does this count for fell into the dark web, or, well, no, that says object.
Well, hold on. Well, so hold on. You have access to dark web? Let's see.
I fell into the dark web, and it's all connected, so...
Okay, so no, you would need to have possession of the object.
Okay, that's fine. It's all connected, still works, so...
It's all connected. Whenever you fully succeed in an investigate roll during an investigation phase, you may add a tick for a long-term You can add a tick to any long-term project. Okay, I'm just trying to... During an investigation.
Oh, wait, that's investing.
Yeah, that's when you're actually out and about.
Oh, well. I still have a filler episode.
You can still work on getting information, so...
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So you're just looking for information about what Cassiopeia has done?
Yeah, in the area.
Okay, let me see what we got. Okay, I'm just gonna say as a whole, this is gonna be a 6-sider.
Oh, I'm not gonna use my investigate?
Well, it's gonna be a six tick thingy.
6-stage clock, right.
Yes.
Sorry, when you keep saying 6-sider, I'm like, wait, dice?
Well, so the thing in Roll20 is, so we're doing a very jank-ass way of doing the, because it's Roll20, where I have to, basically all of our, like, tokens for regarding the clocks, of which we're keeping track of, are basically one huge-ass token with multiple different sides. So that's why I was seeing sides, using Roll20's terminology. So the 6-stage clock is what we're using. So you can go ahead and roll for that. So what is your investigation score?
It's 2, so...
It's 2, so you had a 2 and a 5. So you advance that clock 3, based on the largest number. So halfway there. That's 1 downtime. What shall you do with your other?
I'll do 1 to do some trading and cutting, so just reading over blueprints, practicing, just looking over structures to get some of there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then I'll use my the filler episode extra to give another roll at the investigation.
So wait, what are you doing?
I've got the ability, filler episode, downtime, gain 1 additional downtime action that can be used towards advancing long-term projects, that is investigating or researching a topic.
Oh, well, I'm looking at the wrong character. I just want to make sure where that's from. Oh, filler episode. Okay, there it is. Okay, go ahead and do that.
5 and
4. So you completed it because you rolled. That's 3 ticks. Okay, so what you find out. So, what Cassiopeia has been doing in the region recently is effectively, they've been generally fairly quiet on doing, like, they have not been involved with any major controversy, so to speak. But what you have heard in regards to activities is that there have been a number of cases in which what you've heard actually is not so much information or stuff that's been going on, but it's a weirdly lacking information on things that have been going on. Namely, the fact that people have been basically people that have usually been like very active in certain circles are just no longer doing what they're doing. In fact, they haven't really seen them in a while. there seems to be cases where people have gone, like, people who have been very active in, like, stuff that Cassiopeia has been doing have just disappeared. Like, people would show up to commonly talk about Cassiopeia in, like, things that weren't necessarily their meetings, but, like, trying to spread the word, have just stopped. They've just not shown up at those places.
Weird, but okay.
So that's effectively what is that they're seemingly, no one's trying to make a big fuss about it, but it seems like some people have been disappearing. So that's what you learn.
So on to me then, or do Carnival, you have another action?
The carnival should be done, so I guess it would be up to DM.
All right. Well, efficiency in motion again for 3 more points into physical.
All right.
Means I get another level up. We're up to 2 points in maneuver.
Wait, you get. Hold on. What is your XP count at?
It was at 7.
Okay,
3
so
more
now it's a
points
10.
brings us to
Okay.
10.
Yep. All right.
3 arrests sounds ridiculous.
I'll be down at the racetrack driving his car.
All right. In that case, Torpo.
I mean, I guess I'll shake down one of the nearby Cassiopeia haunts.
Okay, so you're gonna try and go for trying to look into, like, so what exactly are you looking for information?
More word on Elysium. I figure may as well go directly to the source this time.
Okay, so you're trying to go. So since this isn't a full investigation, what I'm going to have you do
Mhm.
is, so you want to look for information for Elysium.
Yep.
What I want you to do, trying to think of how to do it. I want you to roll. Well, actually, guess technically, what I want you're going to need to do an action.
Okay.
So what action would you like to take?
The best kind.
Okay, so you're going to intimidate them for this. So what I will say is that, okay, I'm just trying to think. I'm gonna say this is a limited effect.
Okay.
And it's going to be, if you just ask someone about Elysium, I am going to say that this is.
I said, yeah, shaking down one of their local haunts because Cassiopeia is not exactly on the more subtle end as far as the drug cults go.
I'm going to actually say that this is a risky maneuver.
Okay. So limited. Quick question.
Uh-huh.
Would Elysium be perhaps considered an item of occult nature?
In the scope of what you are doing, it is not something that can be employed.
Okay.
Elysium might as well be a box of might as well be a bag of chips for all we know.
Okay. I was just wondering if you meddling kids would apply or not.
You have to be enacting with the object itself.
Okay. Either way.
Okay, so 1655. Okay, so you go to
Actually,
one
mind
of
if we
the.
pause real quick? I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I'll be right back.
Finally having points in maneuver is me righting a wrong that has been there since we switched over to the system. Bobby's supposed to be an expert driver, and up until now, he's not actually had skills to reflect that.
Okay, I'm back. I apologize.
No problem. Okay.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it is fine now.
Okay.
Right.
So, you rolled a 1, 6, 5, and a 5. So you succeed. What happens is you go ahead and go to a place where some of the Cassiopeia folks hang out, and you go ahead and you intimidate them, looking for answers about Elysium. What you get out of them is not so much you get answers, but what you get out of them is not exactly what Elysium is.
God fucking damn it.
Because what you do learn is instead, specifically because you're intimidating them to do this, they get kind of concerned, as you would if you're getting intimidated. But with them thinking that you're trying to get info on what it is, as they are saying that, hey, they don't know anything, they let slip the phrase, or they say in their defense, or them trying to explain, I don't know what it is. I don't know why you're harassing, or you're going after me about this. Are you one of the? I'm like, I didn't I was like, hey, if Cygnus wants their thing back, then they can go Like, I'm not the person to do that.
Oh, it's Cygnus's toy. All right. Thanks for the
Yep.
somewhat useful info, pal. And then Aravia's just going to trash the.
Okay.
Look, he withheld information. He could have been more forthcoming. Ergo, shit gets broken.
Okay.
Also, they're not the client. Merrill is.
All right. So there is that. So you did one training and then that.
Yep.
Okay. So, in the meantime, you get Bobby is back at the office or wherever the location of the phone is, and you get another
Our
call.
phone.
You get a call from Reese again. Basically.
Hello.
All right. So I was able to ring up 3 of the people I've been hearing most about, and people who are actually who are willing to talk, especially now that they know Libra's on the case. So I can. When can you all get back together so we can have a discussion on this?
As soon as possible.
All right. So what I'm going to have you do is, you know where my place is, and it's fairly safe. Why don't you come back here, and we can have a discussion, and we can finally figure out what's going on.
I'll call my folks and we'll meet you there.
All right. See you then.
All right. Once he's hung up, Bobby will ring up Elmis and Aravia.
Yo,
All right. What did you two find out?
I tell them about the whole, people have been dropping off the face of the earth, playing basically in the area.
That's quite disturbing.
You know what? That's not surprising because I learned that Elysium is one of Cygnus's toys.
Oh, joy. All right. Reese wants to have a meeting. I told him we'd be there as soon as possible.
Yeah, okay, I'll bring Elmis over, I guess.
I'll see you there. Gotta make one more
Alright.
call before we do.
Got it.
That Bobby's going to call Ashley.
All right. Okay. So you call the record store that they work at.
Yes, and ask for Ashley.
Yep. They pick up on. Yep.
Howdy, Bobby.
Yep.
Got some disturbing information for you. Do you think you could attend a meeting in Hazeltown?
They kind of look as like, you hear a pause for a second. He's like, they say, yeah, what time can you get there?
As soon as I can.
I was like, well, okay, I'll come there and you can, help fix the leak in my place. And then he hangs up.
All right then. So that Bobby's we'll pick up Elmis, Aravia, and Ashley.
Okay.
I mean, Aravia could just drive there on her bike with Elmis riding bitch.
All right. In that case, then yeah, Bobby will just pick up Ashley.
All right.
And then meet up out front of the house.
Okay.
Once they're there, Bobby will say to Elmis and Aravia, all right, tell them what you told me.
So, people that should be here and showing up are disappearing. Well, this means I'm worried about that.
Ash was disappearing. What do you mean by disappearing?
Like, just falling off they're almost like falling off the face of the planet.
Well, I've been told that apparently there's been some drop in people, like some people have just been kind of stopped coming. I've been told that it's just they lost interest.
I mean, also none of this is surprising because apparently Elysium was, let's say, taken from Cygnus from the sounds of it by the Cassiopeia folks.
They look at you as like, what do you mean? Where do you hear that?
Straight
Best
from
you
the
not
mouth.
ask.
Look, I heard it straight from them. I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean you heard it straight from them?
I know some Cassiopeia haunts, and I may have just, visited one and asked around kindly.
And someone told you that Cygnus was somehow involved with it.
Yeah.
At this, Ashley just kind of damn it. Okay.
Well,
So-
that's why I wanted you here. In case, because Reese was acting cagey when we went and saw him earlier. And I'd like to throw them off balance, given what they've been withholding from us.
Okay, so bring in the muscle. I got it.
Yeah. Shall we?
All right. Ashley just kind of points or just kind of waves hand towards the door.
Right. Bobby will walk up to the front porch and ring the doorbell.
All right. And so Reese comes and answers the door, kind of scans over and then notices Ash in the back and gets a little bit. You can see like almost mouth like, oh God.
Bobby just
And-
smiles and waggles his eyebrows and says, howdy, friend.
So Reese is like, well, I got him, so might as well come in.
Bobby does.
All right. So Reese takes you back to the living room, in which you see 3 other people here. You see of the assortment of people that you see, you got
Pack of nerds.
Bunch of hippies.
Oh, just the worst.
you got just trying to see of the okay. You know what? Just play it safe. You didn't need. It's not 3. It's actually 2.
Lying to us again.
They actually said 2, but that you know,
I know.
we're not going to do
Look,
3.
there was a
We're gonna
coat on
do
the
2.
coat rack and a hat on it too, and we thought it was a person. It was very misleading.
All right. So sitting on the couch is 2, let's say, like early 20s looking, probably looking kind of like college students. You got a human lady, and you also have a chipmunk lady who look very dragnet, extra ass looking college students.
Mm.
Would Elmas recognize them from being from the
No.
school? Okay.
Bobby will stride into the room and say, Reese, who are your friends?
Well, I have with here, thankfully, Carrie and Piper here were thankfully able to help us, or able to come here on short notice, and are able to, hopefully they might be able to help some things out. They kind of are a little bit more familiar with the concerns that some people have been having. They kind of
Bobby strides over to them and offers his hand and says, Howdy, ma'ams. I'm Bobby.
Don't shake that hand. You don't know where it's been.
they just kind of sit there. They're clearly looking a little nervous, and just kind of say, they just kind of do the head bob of like, I recognize you there, and I need to hold on to my knees right now, or else I'm going to physically combust.
Well, this is Elmas and Ravia. He pauses and looks in Meryl's direction and says, and I assume you two know Ashley Meryl?
They look at them and they're like, not really.
Good.
It's probably for the best.
Unrelated anyway. So what is the matter at hand? What can you tell us about Elise?
The chipmunk lady basically is they kind of look at each other, and chipmunk lady, who's Piper, is the one that kind of speaks up. Well, so we think, how did you let me get you? Okay, so she kind of like looks up and is like, well, so I'll tell you, like, Elysium basically, well, what I know is that someone in our group got a hold of something that we didn't really like. It was in some sort of box, and we didn't really see what it is. But we know that it was something that was marked Elysium, and all of a sudden it was gone. And then no one knew where it was. And then the thing that was slightly concerning us is the fact that after it was gone, I was hearing from someone that we know that's in our group, that apparently they were being threatened with, like, they wanted to know where it was, but no one really knew where it was.
Uh-huh. And where did you find the box?
Someone brought it in. No one knows exactly who. It wasn't Carrie or Piper or me, and it wasn't any of our friends there. It might be one of the other members that we're not super familiar with that might have brought it in.
Where did you get it from?
That's the thing, is no one knew exactly where it was, but I did hear. I know, Carrie, one of your friends said that actually it might have came on loan from Centaurus, that someone's friend that knew it was holding on to it, and it was some sort of, like, it was something really, like, it was some hot item, but I didn't know what it was because no one, it was like, it was locked.
All right, is this setting off like, no, like, are they lying?
I mean, they're obviously full of shit.
They are not saying untrue things. Because the thing is, well, this is also a rule thing actually that we should consider, is when it says you tell when someone is lying, is it specifically an untrue statement? Because I felt like that would describe untrue statement.
I mean, if they think it's true, then yeah, this wouldn't trip it up.
Yeah, if they think it's true, it wouldn't trip it. but I also have and one more thing. So if they ask a question, they'll answer honestly or in a way that reveals true information about another subject. So
Okay. Well, basically they were saying that yeah, it was locked, but we know that it was like marked Elysium, but it was like there was like a tag on it or like a lock on it that no one could get into it.
And where were you holding this box?
It was I saw it in like one of the storage room in like I think it was actually was it under the yeah, it was under the Dancing Queen that I saw it the one time.
The one time it moved around a bunch, did it?
Well, that's where we saw it. It was just under it. I think when we asked it, was someone moved it, but that's where we saw it.
Okay, so you got this hot item that you barely know anything about. Claim to not know where it's from. But are you sure about that?
Is like I was like, well, that's the thing that makes us slightly nervous. Is a lot of us don't know where it was from, and if it was something that maybe if it was something stolen, maybe then it was like we didn't know. That's the thing that was kind of weirding us out.
Look, we need all of the information you can give us, or else we can't find this mysterious Elysium.
Well,
Because I talked to some of your friends and they gave us a different story.
well, I mean that's as far as I know. That's what I saw. Is just it was just this. It was in a box. We saw it that it was something odd, and we were kind of discussing what it could be. We kind of shook it a little bit, and it was. She kind of mimes that it's like something that like let's say it's something about 2 suitcases thick in terms of height, but it's like you put 2 suitcases on top of each other, and she's miming that size. It was like this size, and we can kind of like we're kind of moving it, and something was shaking inside of it, or like something was moving inside, and we could shake it, but we couldn't really tell what it was. There was some padding on it.
Did it feel like heavy? Did it feel like it was? Did it weigh like more than like a?
It was heavy. Like I would say maybe no more than 20 pounds, but it still was a little heavy.
I have another question. You said it was hot. How do you know this? Why?
Well, it was something, it just seemed like it wasn't like, it seemed odd that it was locked and it was like marked and nothing, like you couldn't see, it didn't look like it came from it. Like it didn't have like a label that made it look like it came from like off of like a storage shelf or anything. It looked like it was something that like it looks like if you were like working on that someone's working on something, like it was all marked like personally, so that I don't know, like with the secrecy about it, it's just that it feels weird that no one explained what this thing is.
Okay, but you're dancing around my question. Why is it hot, and how do you know this?
Well, I don't know if it's hot. It's just rumors kind of spread
And what would those rumors be?
that this possibly could have been stolen.
From who?
None of us know. It was just there is no real descriptive marking on it.
All right. You said some of your friends were being threatened by who?
As you say that, they look a little like, well, personally, they kind of look at each other. Well, none of us have been threatened. I've never been there with a threat, but I did hear that there were some goons that were trying to ask that, hey, we need this, that were asking for it back.
And you don't know who they were?
I was not there when the threats were made.
All right, let me see if I got this right. You guys got a mysterious box. You don't know where it came from or how it got there. And you equally don't know where it went when it went missing. You don't know what was inside the box other than it had personal markings. You think it might have been stolen, and now you're being threatened by someone, and you don't know who it is.
That seems to be correct, yes.
Bobby looks at Reese and says, "The best witnesses, huh?"
He just goes, well, that's all we know. Or that's all I could find at short notice.
Really? Because I asked some of your buddies, and they said it was from Cygnus.
As they say that, all 3 of them look kind of shocked.
Yeah, y'all fucked up big time.
Did I perhaps strike a nerve?
Reese kind of says like, well, in the past we have had problems with them they've tried to muscle in on our operations, and there's been a number of cases of them trying to racketeer us and for various other reasons, but I have not heard specifically of them involving this, but it would not surprise me.
So y'all picked up some fucking thing and didn't bother to like even do the barest research of like maybe find like who else might be after this.
Well, the thing, let's see, Hyper kind of pops up again. It's like, well, that's the thing is that it just kind of one of us brought it in, but no
But
one's
you
saying
don't know who.
So I can tell you of our group, I don't know who would have that, but there's the people I'm maybe it's a thing of like I could give you a list of people who I'm not certain would bring it in. Like we had some ideas on who might have been, but
Bobby waves her hand and says, "No, don't bother." Aravia, do you think you could find the person who told you about the Cygnus tip again?
Oh, easy. I think he's still got the bruises.
Well, good, because he apparently knows a lot more than everyone else here does.
Parent fucking Lee. Look, we can't help you if you're not gonna talk to us.
is it that's unfortunate, that's all I know.
That's less than
Fortunately,
useless.
I believe
then.
you. All right, well, thank you for your time. Bobby looks at Ashley and says, "You need a few minutes to talk to these people, or are you good to go now?"
They guys, yeah, I think I'm good.
All right, then, let's roll out.
Only the finest, apparently.
Once they're outside, Bobby will say to Ashley, "I see why you needed our help."
Yeah, I had a feeling that there wouldn't be really much they could get out of it, especially when you're dealing with kind of just the low level people. But if they didn't
Alright.
know what the hell this thing is,
Well, I know someone else we can ask.
I had a bad feel the second I saw two spooked college.
Hey now.
I said spooked. They were clearly in over their heads.
Bobby looks at Ashley and says, "Do you or your group have any intel on any Cygnus hideouts these days?"
well, so they just kind of are thinking, and it's like, well, the thing is, if it's a hideout, if we knew about it, it wouldn't be there. So we'd gotten to it before then.
Of course, but you must have some ideas of where they could be.
Ideas, yes, but nothing concrete.
That's better than nothing.
More helpful than what we got in there.
They kind of think for a moment, and it's like, well, just tries to think. It's like, well, let me go through. It's like, well, the thing is, we could go try and storm one of those places, but at the same time, we don't have no clue where this thing could be, if it's in fact even that they have it.
Well, they seem to not.
I mean, from the sounds of it, they're going after people in Cassiopeia. So we could draw them to us.
Indeed.
That is the case. Unfortunately, that might be the best solution because if we go into storm one of their places, it's a bunch of them against not that many of us. But if we got a bunch of us for health, even just us group, and we trap a few of them, well, that makes it a little bit easier. And if maybe they didn't want to, need to be the bait for this, maybe they should have had better information for us.
Indeed. Well, tell you what, Ravia, why don't you track down your friend, see if you can find anything else for them.
Oh yeah, that's easy. As long as he hasn't gone home crying.
Elmis, how about you and I go and check out the Dancing Queen?
Sure.
That's the only piece of information they have. And Ashley, related to that, we can lure them into a trap, but can you see if any of their the supposed hideouts are near the Dancing Queen?
I'll check. That seems pretty blatant. Dancing Queen's right in the middle of the city, which they tend to be a little bit more in the outskirts.
Even if it's far off, it's probably going to be the closest place where they're sending guys from.
I can definitely check, but it's going to be pretty far off.
Anything helps. Shall we?
Yep, let's go.
All right. Well, I think with that actually probably is a good end to. Actually, first off, since we'll consider that the end of the second scene, before might as well just round out the day with one last mini downtime because each of you get one downtime action. So Carnival.
Let's see. Elmis is gonna start building miniaturized stun batons.
Miniaturized stun batons?
Yeah.
Taser? Trying to make a taser?
Yes, but more of like a taser that you would like. Someone has like a fucking fighting staff that you can like basically shrink into the size where you could put it in a pocket.
So you want a retractable baton that has electricity?
Yes.
Okay. So how? So you're just trying to make it so it's literally just a retractable baton, but with like the ability to like
Heart battery?
I mean, with the way that the magic works in this, in how tiny batteries can be, this is more feasible than not.
Like I'm just trying to make it like you would have to be deliberately doing a very thorough search to actually find it, not just like something a casual
So in the equipment that we like things, there's something called and no, it's not necessarily a magical item, but we have something called the Merlin Roll, which is basically what it is. That it's a tiny pen-like object that you can use as a conduit through magic. So what you do is you just turn the baton. You just tip it with something that can be a magical conduit and just give it the ability to retract, which would give you the benefits of a baton, but also you can make it so that
Okay, so we already have something like that. So then I guess at this point, let's start rebuilding the drone network.
Okay. All right. So
Rancid.
how are we starting this?
Well, we're gonna start this by making just we're gonna start small with just like we're gonna just start with the miniaturized drones that can record things.
Okay, so that is going to be a bigger undertaking.
So I think that we'll start first with just the whole drone part is probably the starting thing over the recording.
Okay, so might as well just start with the drone itself. That is going to be okay. So that's going to be a 12 part clock.
All right.
Because that is fairly advanced. Okay. So
right, do that roll.
Go ahead and do your roll.
Critical.
Okay, so that's 266. So that is in fact a critical. Which is that +6?
Is that +6 before or after the bonus?
That's what I'm checking. I believe it's +6 before. I just had it. It is in fact +6. Yeah, +6 base. So you get 2?
Yeah, 2.
Okay, so we're at 8.
It's coming back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right, DM.
Well, gonna once again use efficiency and motion.
Okay, so you get 2.
Not gonna have Bobby do the training this time. Instead, gonna put 2 points into the Skulker on Haley.
Okay. Torpo.
I guess I'll just do a bit of exercise before I head out.
Previous episodes of Hazeltown Story can be found at BeKindRewind.hazel.town or radio.hazel.town. If you would like to know more about the universe and have an interest in video games, you can watch LoloDePuzlo's Journal, our sister show, that can be found at theater.hazel.town or BeKindRewind.hazel.town. If you would like to keep up to date with Lolo, you can follow them at cohost or BlueSky at LoloDePuzlo. There is also a Discord server in which you can potentially catch episodes being recorded live at club.hazel.town. Thank you for listening to Hazeltown Story. I welcome you to come back for more.